Hello my beauties, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. If you're new here, you're welcome. And in this channel we talk about transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery, and this is all things self-improvement, wellness, leveling up in life, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. So if you haven't watched my previous video, which was becoming the woman of your dreams, kindly find it linked up here. So today we'll be talking about how to show up for yourself and stop abandoning yourself. Yes, so this is such a sensitive topic, and so stay with me. It's really important that we have this discussion because of the roles that we have in society as women, we tend to abandon ourselves and we are not aware that we've done that. So the word abandon truly feels like it's one of the saddest words, because while being abandoned by someone else can be quite painful and devastating, being abandoned by yourself, I think that is the last straw. So self-abandonment is a coping mechanism, surprisingly, that we all have adopted, at least most of us at some point in our lives, as a coping mechanism, because it's something that's learned at an early age, and it's a default that feels safer rather than disappointing or annoying people or bothering other people because of suppressing or not wanting to share our needs, our wants, or our desires. So as a child, you learn that we don't even recognize that we have a choice to actually abandon ourselves or show up for ourselves, because instead of making the person angry, or if it was your caregiver or a significant person in your life, you opted to just stay, abandon yourself by withholding your desires, withholding your needs, withholding your wants, because you did not want to probably annoy the caregiver. And so an example of seeing whether you have adopted self-abandonment as an adult is whenever you get into an argument or a conversation, whenever you get into a conversation with an adult, in order for you to actually realize whether you've adopted this self-abandonment as a coping mechanism, is whenever a small argument will surface as a result of the conversation, you would rather just abandon the entire conversation altogether, or just give way completely and say, it's okay, you're right, and you don't speak for yourself. You don't try to just state your point. Or maybe it's a Saturday, it's the day you've set aside for your own personal things, and they're important for you to do because they mean a lot to you and you've already scheduled it. But then someone comes up and tells you, no, I'd prefer that you spend this time with me. So what do? You immediately just say, sure, no problem, I can do my thing some other time. You just dismiss your plans and just allow them. So the issue is not being there for the people that matter to us, but it's giving way to others out of habit. So you practically just allow people to have their way without necessarily stepping up or just saying, no, I'm not comfortable with whatever is going on. So basically that was such a long intro, but I wanted you to understand what it means. So showing up for yourself means acknowledging your needs, your wants, and your desires, and it's another form of actually self-care, because in this way you are actually accepting yourself, supporting yourself, and loving yourself, knowing that you are deserving of the things that you desire and that you want. So some practical ways on how you can show up for yourself would be: one, stop being so hard on yourself and start practicing self-compassion. Exactly. Many times we are so prone to just extending so much compassion to others. When other people wrong us, we are so quick to extend grace and compassion to them, but we do not extend the same love and the same kindness and the same compassion to ourselves. So probably you are struggling with forgiving yourself over something that you did that you're not proud of, or you're struggling with, especially like me, who is a self-proclaimed perfectionist. I often get upset at myself for not maybe achieving some goals that I had set, or just even if I woke up one morning and I'm uninspired, I don't feel like showing up even for my work. I am so hard at myself, and if I didn't reach a certain milestone, I get so upset with myself. But the truth is that sometimes I'm not always going to get it right, and it's unrealistic to expect that every day my life will operate on, like autopilot, that everything I do will be perfect on each single day. So I have to learn to allow myself or give myself room for those small mistakes. And when I expect that I'm always perfect, it means then I will not be good enough. And in turn, that will affect my self-esteem or your self-esteem. And therefore, it's important to give yourself compassion. The second one is to stick to your boundaries. Have boundaries first and then stick to boundaries. So do you have any boundaries that you set for yourself? Should be the question to ask yourself, because sticking to your boundaries, especially for someone who has a personality like mine that is very nurturing and wanting that the people around me are always happy, I always feel like, because I have that personality that's so nurturing, I rarely put myself first. In fact, I know I used to spend a lot of time putting others before me and taking on their problems. And of course, that still now is coupled with my work, also makes me, made me, it really just took so long for me. But at some point, of course, I got walked all over and had a lot of relationships fail, thinking that I was doing the best, by making sure everyone around me is happy and nurtured and well taken care of. And it took that for me to realize my worth and to realize that I also have to set boundaries. So with that, I learned that showing up for myself means choosing my peace first before everything and anything else, especially if you find yourself in a toxic relationship. And a toxic relationship could be friendships, it could be significant others, lovers, boyfriends, husbands. It's important that you're able to take time for yourself. By setting boundaries, it means take time for yourself. Sometimes take time off social media, take time off your phone. Sometimes also, choosing not to listen to other people's problems, especially when you're dealing with something yourself, because you're not really being of much assistance to the other person as well, because you are assuming that you're being there, but you're also dealing with something, so you're not really helping because you can't pour from an empty cup. Also saying no because you simply just don't have the energy and you're not feeling it. It's really important to learn how to say no. I think I read somewhere where it said that no is a complete answer. It doesn't need explanation. So it's important to set the boundary by saying no. Then also not just surrounding yourself with things or people who drain you. And I know it's difficult. Sometimes you'll be somewhere with someone and by the time you walk away from them, you're so drained, your energy is so low. And I remember I saw a quote the other day. In fact, I think I shared it on my Instagram that says that be careful and watch who you're around when you feel your worst, and watch who you're around when you feel your best. So again, this is a form of boundary setting. For you to be able to show up for yourself, you need to really set those boundaries, because nobody else will. People will walk all over you and not care about how that impacts your mental health, your emotional wellness, and all that. Then the other point is to celebrate yourself. Now, of course, again, as I said, I'm a perfectionist and I just want everything done right. But it's important to always remember that it's progress over perfection. So everything I've mentioned before just talks about how you view yourself. But in order for all those things to work, you have to love yourself and for who you are right now, you know. So whenever you as long as you know that you're putting in the inner work to become the best version of you, then every single day just learn how to celebrate your small wins, because it's really important. It's progress over perfection. Choose to focus on your strengths and replace negative thoughts. You know, like for me, I replace any negative thoughts with positive affirmations, because this helps me to keep a positive mindset. So if you want, chant in the mirror, do your affirmations, and remember that you've made it this far. And so by keeping a growth mindset, this is a daily process, but it starts with celebrating yourself first, each and every single day. So why all this about showing up for yourself? Showing up for yourself is important because you matter. And if no one else has told you today, you matter. Because you matter, then you're probably living the only life you'll have on this earth. And just like all beings, you want to be happy, fulfilled, fully alive. And so by showing up for yourself every day, this is the foundation of the most important work as a human being on earth that you will do, because you deserve to feel nourished, supported, and most of all, supported and nourished by you and not anybody else. So you may think, I can get by without showing up for myself after all. And technically, yes, you could, but you'll only be getting by and living life on survival mode. And no one wants to really be on survival mode. Remember, this is probably the only life that you have. So if you want to thrive and you want to flourish and, you know, you just want to have a beautiful, full life as your best self, then you have to show up for yourself on a daily basis. And always remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to keep replenishing and pouring into yourself so that you can give from the abundance of whatever is flowing out of you. So if you try to be of service and do it out of self-sacrifice, believe me, you will not be able to sustain that. You'll get burned out, and no one is served by someone who is burned out. So I really hope that, my beauties, you've enjoyed this video and you have learned how to stop abandoning yourself by putting away your desires and shelving your needs and your wants, not being in touch with yourself because you want everyone else to be happy. You have learned how to show up for yourself every single day by celebrating yourself, by sticking to your boundaries, and also by just stop being so hard on yourself and practice self-compassion. So I really hope this video has helped, and if you like my content, please like. It really helps my videos. Subscribe and share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.